Hello, welcome back. This is our first installation for Windows 7 32-bit on a VMware version 7. First, we'll make a new virtual machine. We will not install it typically. We will choose custom installation, leave all the settings for the processor, and start to choose from where you will have the operating system. You have a separate CD, use the operating system from a bootable CD, or you have already an image that you can browse it and pick it. You can have all your operating system as an ISO or NRG images, and also you can work directly from the CD-ROM. After choosing the operating system that you will install, which actually right now Windows 7, we will start. We can leave the installation without operating system, and we can choose that we will start the installation right now. After that, it will ask you for the regular username and password, and also it will ask you for the CD key for the CD that you will use. This is an important issue where you will add this virtual machine, where you will add the files in your hard disk or in an external hard drive, whatever. In this case, I'm using my external hard drive, and it's an important issue to know where your virtual machines, as you can pack it or try to copy it or move it or make from it another copy. So it's an important issue to know where the virtual machine exists and what is its status. We will check and learn about the status. Give a directory name and start the installation. Next. In this menu, you are asking how many processors that we will use. You may use 2 processors or one of the cores, and here also a hardware configuration, how much memory you will use. The default memory that is with the green mark, or you may need to increase the memory, decrease the memory according to the size of the host itself, your physical host. So this is a very important issue to decide it before the installation. Actually, because you may work with 3 or 4 virtual machines on the same host and at the same time. We will leave the recommended size. After that, it will ask you about three kinds of network to choose between them. This is the bridge or NAT. We will talk about all this inside the video itself, or maybe in another video, but actually this is the way that your virtual machine will deal with the network cards. Is it directly, or you have separately, as if we will talk about this issue in details later. The recommended hard disk type also, we will use the recommended one. During this portion of the installation, setup is asking you about the disk. The disk may be a new from scratch disk, VM disk, or an already exists disk, or also you can use one of the drives. If you have a separate drive, physical hard drive in your machine, you can use it. Next, we will choose SCSI as a recommended, and here we are in a portion that you need to decide if you will allocate a certain space for this disk, and this is will reserve space on the hard disk for this purpose only, or if you need to make the virtual hard disk as one part, one size. The size is not split it, or can you split it in 2 gigas, so you can choose to copy it on DVDs or stuff like this. Also, now we check the location, so saving the hard disk. RPM. Here is the summary of the whole installation, and you can go right now to choose change the setup configuration, increase the RAM or decrease it, add another processor or decrease the processor number of cores. This is always available. This configuration is always available during the VM guest operating system is off, not running. Also, you can add extra network cards. Maybe you are using TMG server, so you can add two dual cards in this machine. So you can play with this configuration anytime, but actually when the machine is off, it's not running, the guest operating system is not running. Try to catch the two terminology, guest operating system and host operating system. The host is the one that you build the new virtual machine on it, okay, which you already install the VMware software on it. Here, virtual machine workstation is asking that you have extra hardware, external hardware that you can add it to work with the host machine or the guest machine. Okay, so if you have an external hard disk is connected to the host machine, you can disconnect it and reconnect it to your guest machine. Okay, in our case, we can connect the external hard disk to the Windows 7 virtual workstation. Here we're starting Windows 7. It'll take a while. According the speed of this installation will be relatively according to how much RAM and also the processor speed of your machine. But actually, giving 1 gig RAM for virtual machine is very quite enough, and you can have a very good and reliable operating system. Just 1 gig of RAM will work fine with most of the virtual machines. In this portion, the setup will start to copy the Windows files, and after that it will expand these Windows files. This part of setup may take around from 10 to 12 minutes according to the machine, the physical machine or the host machine that you are working on it right now. Well, you can visit a certain sites to know the operating system that's supported with virtual machine version 7. Virtual machine workstation version 7. You will find a lot of operating system like Linux, Solaris, also Novell till 6.5. A lot of operating system, all the Windows 2008 operating system, server operating system, all kinds of server. You can install whatever you need from Microsoft based operating system and Linux and Novell, and also you can even you can install the Windows 98, the old one, and even the 3.1. If you find it, you can install it. So a variety of operating system can be installed on Windows on virtual machine workstation. Now the setup is finalizing and it will restart in a few seconds. So let's wait for the first boot. By the way, the screen that you see right now, it's getting some of the keys like F2, F10. So this is actually the BIOS of the VM. Yes, the VM itself got a BIOS like any machine. You can get inside this BIOS and you can make some setups like very few. If you want to boot from a CD-ROM, boot from a floppy disk, blah blah blah, stuff like this, anything of or any kind of changing in the BIOS, you can do it from this area. Actually, there is a complete session about this article or this issue, because يعني it's got a lot of information and a lot of workaround till you can get inside the BIOS. And actually we have too much talk in this issue and what inside it. So wait for this video, the virtual machine BIOS. Now it's starting and finalizing everything and complete installation. So right now setup will continue after restarting your computer. Actually, I cut a lot of videos and a lot of shots in order not to minimize the size of this video. So this is not it's approach reality, but it's not real. You have a lot of cuts that's to pause. I mean, let's say I pause a lot of time in order to have a small video size, because installation may take more than half an hour, maybe 1 hour, according to like we talked before, according to the hardware itself. Now Windows 7 32-bit. It's enterprise or ultimate. We don't care about what we did, what kind of Windows we install. We just know that all kind of Windows will be installed on this VM. Also, by the way, you can install Windows 32-bit and 64-bit. Just one case, that your architecture is supporting the 64-bit and the main operating system of the host is 64-bit. Okay, again, if you want to make a virtual machine running Windows whatever 2008 64-bit, for example, you need to install Exchange 2007, stuff like this, 2010. So you need a 64-bit. A lot of Microsoft products need 64-bit, so it's okay, you can do it, but make sure that the Windows that you are running on it, this virtual machine, and installing the virtual machine workstation software on it is a 64-bit based. This is a very important point. A lot of people confuse and search for this, how to install a 64-bit VM on our machine. By the way, this VM will not work except on VM workstation software running on Windows 64-bit based. I mean, if you make a 64-bit virtual machine and try to run it on a 32-bit again, it will not work. Okay. Now we are preparing our desktop and we are waiting for the first Windows start. And right now there is a very important point that you need to know. Here it detects a network, makes some detection. The important points that you need to know, that there is something called VM tools. VM tools, you can install it from this search area, from tools, uninstall it if already installed. In our installation it's automatically installed. These tools help you to smooth or make easily movement of the mouse, and also a lot of hardware configuration will be easily to run, and the screen resolution, full screen, stuff like this. So we have also a session for these tools. We will talk about it later. It seems that we have our virtual machine up and running, and seem also that the network is working good, and we have to check if you got an internet or right now or not. This is the first point. I hope you enjoy this video, and there's a lot of videos will be published on YouTube. So wait for it. To finally, you will have what we will call it VMware from A to Z. Thank you for listening and watching, and see you later.